What is going on, everyone? We are back with another episode from our Bears franchise in Madden 17. It is time for the final mid-season update of season number 2. But before we get to the updating, you see bottom left, we lost Daniel Braverman last week to a season-ending injury, broken collarbone. I have put him on IR, devastating injury. I'm so bummed he got hurt, but his replacement is going to be Adam Humphries, and I picked Adam Humphries up because he is a very similar player to Braverman. He's a possession receiver. He's a guy that will fit right into the slot. He's got good route running, good catching, decent speed and acceleration, but a guy that will be reliable, which is what I found has been really good about Braverman. He's that guy that you can rely on making the catch. So that is the roster move. Now looking at the standings, the Browns lead the AFC North at 7-5. Surprise there. Steelers have lost 6 games in a row, and that's why they find themselves in 3rd place. The Colts have won 3 in a row. They're in the lead in the AFC South at 7-5. The Jaguars have lost 4 in a row at 6-6. They are tied with the Texans, and then the Titans at 3-8-1. Patriots have come storming back in the AFC East. They are now tied for first with 4 games in a row that they've won. Jets have lost 5 in a row. Not a big surprise there to see the Jets losing a bunch of games. And then the AFC West, it's going to be the Chargers and the Chiefs tied. The Chiefs have won 5 games in a row. Broncos in 3rd, and the Raiders, again, having a tough season at 3-9. NFC North, it is your Bears. The Packers won last week, so we did not win the division. We do have an opportunity to win it this coming week in the next episode, but the Lions and the Vikings are going to round out that division. NFC South, it is the Falcons at 9-3. And then look at the rest of this. All the other teams are 7-5. That is a very, very competitive division right there. Did not expect the NFC South to be apparently the most difficult division in the NFC. The NFC East right behind them, though, Cowboys are 10-2. Giants have lost 3 in a row. That's going to put them at 7-5. And the Eagles are 7-5. Redskins bring up the rear there at 3-9. And then the NFC West, Seahawks 9-3. They were running away with this one, but look at the Cardinals. They have won 8 games in a row. They are now 1 game behind. 49ers 1-11 have lost 6 in a row. So there is your standings update. Now for stats, Zach Dudley closing in on 300 yards passing, but 15 touchdowns to go with 15 interceptions. We managed to not throw any picks last week. We also didn't get any touchdowns, though. Having an okay season, 65 complete percentage is not great. Hopefully we can improve over the last couple weeks of the season. Melvin Gordon, what a year for this guy so far since we picked him up. 1,000 yards, 13 touchdowns. Jeremy Langford, 316, 3 touchdowns. Howard, 168 and 3 touchdowns. Langford has looked much better in the last couple games when we've been given the opportunities. His average is actually up to 4.6, so that's pretty good. Receiving, Daniel Braverman now hurt, so this is where his stats will end. 61 catches, far and away the leader for this team, although he has been the guy that's been healthy the entire season up until now. 639 yards for him, 513 for Zach Miller, 449 for Kevin White, 314 for Marquise Wilson, Gordon with 284, Jeffrey with 232, and then the touchdowns, it's going to be the leader at 3, I believe. Yes, Braverman with 3, and then 2 for Miller, Wilson, and Coleman. Figure Kevin White and Alshon Jeffrey will pick up their stats as we progress here in these last couple weeks. Adrian Amos, 78 tackles to lead the team. Trevathan with 71. Voorhees Greg with 68. Pernell McPhee with 57. Tackles for loss, it is going to be the leader, Trevathan, tied with McPhee with 17. So the linebackers doing some work. Freeman with 11, although he's hurt now. Cecil Rudd with 11, and Leonard Floyd with 10. Voorhees Greg, the rookie, has 7. Sacks, though, look at this, the newcomer coming up strong. Cecil Rudd with 12. Leonard Floyd, I feel like, had 8.5 sacks in the first 6 weeks of the season, so he's kind of fallen back, but the rookie has stepped up huge the last few weeks. And then Kyle Fuller, 6 interceptions. Voorhees Greg with 3. Quentin Rollins with 2, and then a couple guys with 1. Looking around the league, Aaron Rodgers, not quite as big of a lead in passing. Phillip Rivers is right behind him, as those 2 guys having a very, very good season. 29 touchdowns for the second-year quarterback Dak Prescott. 29 and 8 interceptions. 28 and 7 for Matt Ryan. 27 and 7, 27 and 6. So you can see those ratios. That's what we want to see from our quarterback, as you can see. Fortunately, Joe Flacco has 1 more interceptions. He's at 16, but we have the 2nd most picks in the league. That is not where I want to see our quarterback at the top of a list. Running game, Ezekiel Elliott leading the way with 1,239 yards. Jamal Charles, 1,100. Gordon there in 3rd, tied with Matt Forte with 1,063. We are going to be first, though, I do believe, in touchdowns, as we have 13. Elliott with 12, and then Forte, Ingram, Johnson, and McCoy with 10. Receiving, it's going to be Brandon Cooks leading the way with 82 catches. It's Allen with the receiving yards lead, 1,225 to 1,218, 1,100 for Julio Jones. And then touchdowns, Keenan Allen, 14 receiving touchdowns, Julio Jones with 12, and Jordy Nelson with 11. On defense, it is C.J. Mosley with 115 tackles. It's going to be tackles for loss, 24 for Cameron Haywood, and then 19 for Watt and Williams. And then the sacks lead is going to be Brandon Graham with 17, J.J. Watt with 15. We should be on this list. Again, I don't know why it does not display us properly on the defensive side of the ball. It shows us on offense when we're there, but that's where our rookie Rudd should be. And then interceptions, Kyle Fuller should be in second with 6, but he's nowhere to be found. Luke Kuechly, which I'm still pissed, we've gave him 2 of those interceptions as he leads the league with 7. And then looking at the team, we're 23rd in offensive yards. Defense is still number 1, which isn't a big surprise. This defense has been amazing this year. 20th in points scored, and we are, I think, 2nd in points allowed. So the defense really carrying this team. Dak Prescott, the second-year quarterback, is leading the league in the MVP race. Trey is actually, we have ourselves getting some recognition. We're in first for Coach of the Year. Offensive Player of the Year, we have Melvin Gordon in 7th. Zach Dudley leading the way for Offensive Rookie of the Year. It's going to be Cecil Rudd leading the way for Defensive Rookie of the Year. No surprise for either of those. It's going to be Dax leading the way for Best Quarterback. We're not on that list. Melvin Gordon is 2nd. Going to be tough to beat Elliott this season. He's having himself a pretty good year. Cecil Rudd has fought his way on to the Best Defensive Lineman list. He's 7th there. It's going to be Leonard Floyd, 6th on the Best Linebacker list. And then Kyle Fuller, Pernell McPhee, 9th on that list as well. And then Kyle Fuller still 2nd behind Darius Slay. I really hope we can pass him. Kyle Fuller has been playing so well this year. And then Josh Lambo has moved into 1st for the Best Kicker race. So there are your award races updates. Now let's take a look at scouting. And for the halfbacks, I still have the same 4 guys here. I don't know if we're going to focus as much on halfback. It depends on what happens at the beginning of the offseason. I have looked at some more wide receivers, but I'm going to show you here. I have 4 here. Look at how many wide receivers I have scouted, and look at how bad a lot of these guys are. As you can see, some of them are bad, but then it goes, boom, all of them undrafted. 2nd, 3rd, 4th rounders, all undraftable. So I'm going to continue to scout wide receivers, but that does not look like a very deep class this year. So we're going to have those 4 guys right now. Tight end, and I'll be honest, I'm not as worried about tight end anymore because Tyler Higbee has been an absolute revelation since we grabbed him off of the Rams practice squad. Got a couple linemen here and there, nothing really too great. Center is one position we're going to try and focus on. A couple first rounders, and then I found a 6th rounder. Got a couple first rounders for right tackle. I did finally find a defensive end. We got one, a left end, that's grading out in the 3rd round. Although that really is not a position of need for us. 1 D tackle still, again, not a position of need exactly. We got a few middle linebackers. These 3 still, all 3 look really good, but they are first-round prospects, so I don't know if we're going to be able to grab any of them. And then corner, I have been able to find a couple since the last update. It's a 5th and a 6th rounder. I've been looking deeper down to try and find some gems there. We got 1 free safety as well, a 6th rounder, and then a couple of strong safeties. That guy in the 6th round actually looks pretty good. A- hit power. He could be a good run support safety. But that's your scouting update. Now we look towards the end of the season. 4 games left. Saints, Falcons on the road, then Packers, Ravens at home. If we win our next game, we will win the NFC North again. I said at the end of the last episode, I cannot believe we have the opportunity in our 2nd season to win the division. Now, obviously, that's probably more to the rest of the division not playing well this season, and we have gotten a little lucky. We faced a couple teams where the starting quarterback has been hurt, and I think that's had a huge effect on our ability to steal a couple games, especially early in the year. So, regardless, though, I mean, we've still won the games. We're 10-2. We will take on the 7-5 Saints in the next episode, but that is going to be it for this one. If you enjoyed it, please go and give it a like. I'd really appreciate it, and subscribe to see any future videos that I make. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.